Hello, so today we're going to talk about the consumer culture in the 1920s and then compare it to now. So basically, the consumer culture in the 20s was just an influx of just a whole bunch of new ideas and goods and products basically that people could now go out and buy. Originally, it was things were mainly focused on, getting yours, making enough for you and your family, and then that's it. You just create your own. But now this new consumer culture is like, okay, you go out and make your money and then buy. Go buy. You got to buy everything. So basically, with the discovery of new energy sources and some technologies, industrial output just flooded the market basically with a whole bunch of products, like I said, including ready-to-wear clothing, convenience foods, and home appliances. Sounds familiar. The department store really kind of led the way for this culture of consumption because once you went into the store, mainly women, because 90% of people buying these things were women, and they were the ones being marketed to. They would go into these stores and they would enjoy shopping. They would have fun there. There was other things other to do than shopping, so that just kind of ramp things up even more. Not only were there, these large influx of products, and now they have places to go buy these products, but now you have increased money, quote unquote. So this early consumer culture in the 1920s brought about the formation of what we now know as credit, and they called it credit back then as well. Now, you wouldn't just go and swipe your credit card, but pretty much if you didn't have enough to pay for it all up front, you would, put a little payment on there and then pay the rest in installments. Basically like today. It says here that in 1927, 60% of American automobiles were sold on credit, and this spurred like 120% growth in between from 1919 and 1929. And by the late 1920s, it says here that 80% of the world's cars drove on American roads. So it can show you just how much credit boosted this consumer culture. I do still believe that we are in a consumer culture. We had a pandemic, and you saw companies like Amazon still continue to grow because even within the pandemic and a lot of people in the country are unemployed. People were still spending their money. Goods drive this country. And not only that, but the U.S. has the number one GDP in usually every year. And currently in 2020, it sits at $20.8 trillion. And not only do we have the highest GDP, but I'm pretty sure we have a pretty large debt as well. So you can tell that we enjoy credit. I basically define culture as the shared experiences and characteristics of a certain group of people or a nation or a social group. These shared characteristics and experiences can be anything from food, language, religion, arts, music, things of that nature. Now, the role of culture today, I feel like kind of separates us from one another because everybody kind of wants to find a culture, quote unquote, to kind of embody with or be a part of and say, hey, my culture is better than yours, or your culture isn't valid, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like culture should be something that more so should bring us closer together, because we should want to know about each other's cultures. That way we get a better of understanding of each other. If I can understand your culture a little better and you understand mine, you probably know certain things that might set me off or certain things that I like, things of that nature. And a lot of people have the misconception that you can only belong to one cultural group, which isn't true. I define myself, off the bat, too, I can think of in my head. I'm part of the DJ culture because I like to DJ, and I am a DJ. And I'm also a part of the aviation culture. I'm an aviator. I love planes. Well, that's all I have, and thank you for watching.